information. They are giving you information on certain conditions. Now, I don't think treaty is also a legal obligation, and you can't ask the government to do something which is in breach of law, which is in breach of treaty obligations. But as I said, whatever it may be, it's a step in the right direction. Let's go forward to unearth these monies which are stashed abroad.
All eyes on the Supreme Court, and reporters getting us the very latest for you from there. Arunima now joins us from outside the Apex Court. Arunima, tell us what is expected to take place today. We know the government is going to disclose those names to the court in a short while from now. But is that matter going to be made public? Ashok earlier was saying that it will be in a sealed envelope, so the chances of it being known to the public are dim.
So that's what the government is saying, that they're going to give all the names in a sealed envelope to the judges there. It's up to the judges now to decide whether they want to give a copy of all those names to the petitioner, in this case Ram Jethmalani, and also the other lawyers involved like Prashant Bhushan. Obviously, the petitioners will argue that they should be given the information so that they can follow the case ahead. And so far, the Supreme Court has not showed any confidence in the government as far as this matter is concerned. So it remains to be seen if the government, after submitting those names, can convince the Supreme Court that they should not be shared with anybody, should not be made public. Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General in this particular case, has also said that Germany has already raised objection once earlier in April this year. Some names were disclosed to the Supreme Court. So there is a possibility that even if these names are not disclosed, other countries like France, Switzerland, Germany can raise objection, and it can put in jeopardy other future agreements that government of India might be wanting to sign. So all of these are problems which the Modi government is facing, but they will try and salvage the situation in the Supreme Court. As we speak, the hearing has begun. Ashok Bagaria, our legal editor, is inside, so as soon as he has something to share, we will bring it to you. But yes, the government is hoping that the envelope will be kept in sealed cover and the names will not be made public.
Arunima, right, this comes after those scathing remarks from the Supreme Court when the government released 3 names, all from the business community, no politicians, and this especially after the government had made it such a huge bold promise to bring back all black money within 100 days, as Home Minister Rajnath had said, and then they come up with just 3 names leading to that furor.
Well, the Modi government is facing a double whammy. On the one hand, they're getting politically attacked because they made this such a big political issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself had spoken about it. The other supporters of Narendra Modi, including former BJP MP Ram Jethmalani, who's a petitioner in this case, and also Baba Ramdev, they'd all made black money a big issue. And once the Modi government took the first cabinet meeting and constituted the SIT, they again tried to get political mileage out of that decision by saying that what UPA could not do all this time, we have managed to do that. But once they came to the Supreme Court, all that mileage was completely negated because the Supreme Court was scathing in its remarks. It said that, now that a new regime has come into power, you cannot come to us and request us to change or modify our orders from 2011. This order to disclose all names was given in 2011, then a review petition was filed. Subsequently, it has taken 3 years and still there is no progress. As far as the SIT is concerned, the government claims it has shared the names with the SIT and therefore it has showed that its intention is clear. But the Supreme Court judges, including the Chief Justice of India, are not convinced, and so far their attitude towards government has been of suspicion, and we'll have to wait and see if they can salvage the situation.
Right, Arunima, stay with us. Remember, the BJP has maintained that if they came out, the government, in fact, if they came out with that list, it would embarrass the Congress. The Congress then retorting and daring the government to come out with that black money list. Listen in to that latest war of words over the issue.
The intention of both Bharatiya Janata Party and the central government is to bring back the black money and to declare the name of the people who have stashed black money abroad. The finance minister yesterday has emphatically stated that the central government has no problem in giving all these names in an enclosed envelope to the Supreme Court.
The only political question which the country is asking and which we are asking on behalf of the country is a question of accountability. If you have carried on a campaign, a political campaign, day in and day out for 9 months, saying we will give 55,000 bank accounts of so many lakh crores, we are asking, have you got 55 rupees back after 5 months? This was not our campaign, this was your campaign.
Arunima, like you were mentioning that the government finds itself in a precarious position. On one side there's a predicament of worsening relations with other countries who cooperate with us, giving us those names. And the other side, the embarrassment that it faces because of its poor promise.
Well, exactly, and there is no going back now, because exactly this argument of double taxation agreements as well as international obligations, these were the arguments that the UPA government made. To give you a background of the case, in 2011, the Supreme Court had first passed that order asking that all names be disclosed. The UPA government then filed a review petition. The Supreme Court refused to give any kind of positive order for the UPA. Then finally, when the ND regime took over, they formed the SIT. And, like I said, when that SIT was formed, the cabinet ministers, the political party members of BJP, they all tried getting mileage out of it, saying, well, we had promised this during our elections and we are doing something. But what happened in the Supreme Court was a complete U-turn, because this NDA regime is now taking the same plea that the UPA government was taking. And just to get you an update, 627 names have been submitted inside the Supreme Court in a sealed cover. That's what our legal editor Ashok Bagadia is bringing in the news.
I'm sorry, I have to interject you there. There's some breaking news that we're getting on that issue. The government has in fact submitted a list of 627 names. We are being told to the Supreme Court in a sealed envelope. Like we were talking with Arunima, this name, the government has finally made a full disclosure only before the Apex Court. We are being told 627 names have been submitted. Remember, 3 names had already been declared before to the Supreme Court, but in a sealed envelope. Arunima is still joining us from outside the Supreme Court. So, Arunima, the government has finally gone ahead, made that disclosure before the Apex Court, but like you were saying, it's in a sealed envelope.
Well, that's absolutely right. And the government was left with no option after yesterday's hearing. There was a clear-cut diktat from the Chief Justice's bench which said, you have to give us the names. You are not here to provide a protective umbrella to those who are on that list. What about investigation? What about prosecution? What has to be done with those names? All of that you leave to the Supreme Court. We will decide what has to be done. If need be, we will rope in CBI as well. Meanwhile, SIT is also seeking more power and some amendments to the double taxation agreement. So all of those issues were before the Supreme Court yesterday, but they did not cede any ground to the government or the plea that revealing the names will put them in international jeopardy as far as international obligations are concerned. So the government had no option, and today they have respected the wishes of the Apex Court, and those 627 names have been provided to the judges. The hearing is still on. Our legal editor Ashok Bagadia is inside. He will bring us details as and when we get it. But yes, the big news that we're getting at this hour is that those names, 627 of those, have been given to the judges, and they are looking into the matter as we speak.
That's quite a way, Arunima, from the first 3 to 627 now. But what now, Arunima, will these, just clarify something for our viewers, will these names be now shared with the SIT that's probing this matter?
Well, that is something we'll have to wait and see, because yesterday when the hearing was happening, what Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General, had argued is that these names have already been shared with the SIT. SIT which has been constituted on the directions and the terms of references of the Supreme Court. So the government tried arguing that its intentions can't be doubted because it was sharing the information with the Supreme Court appointed body. But the Supreme Court said that, SIT is fine, we can take a decision whether we want to suspend the SIT's working for now and give the probing role to CBI or some other agency. What has to be done with all those names? All of that we will decide later. First and foremost, the government must disclose those names to the Supreme Court. Now, why was Supreme Court so adamant? Because this matter has been going on for the last 7 to 10 years now. The first list came to the government in the early part of the last decade, and since then, from France to Germany to Switzerland, from various sources. There's one list called the HSBC Geneva list. There's another list which has come from Germany. So there are names in different lists, and together they make about 627 names which have now been given to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court was of the view that why is it that when you had these names for so long, you did nothing about it, and now you leave it to us. We will decide what is the prosecution that has to be done against these people, what action has to be taken. The Supreme Court was also very castigating, if I might use that word, as far as government's plea that international obligations will be affected. They said we will see future obligations later. As of now, our focus is to see that in the past, whatever names have come, why has no action been taken against them? And that's why the government today was forced to disclose 627 names to the Supreme Court.
Right, Arunima, stay with us. For those of our viewers who are just joining in, the latest in that black money list probe is that government has submitted 627 names to the Supreme Court in a sealed envelope. We'll have to wait and watch as to what happens then. Will the Supreme Court make those names public? But as Arunima, who's reporting from outside the Supreme Court, is saying that these names, according to the government, have already been shared with the SIT probing this matter. But Arunima, the next big step would be whether these names become public, and if it does, it's going to put the government, like we were talking before, in an embarrassing position vis-a-vis other countries.
Well, absolutely. You know, are these 627 people whose names have been given? These are foreign bank account holders. They have foreign accounts in the countries like Switzerland, in Germany, in Liechtenstein. And, you know, the government's case has been that just holding an account in a foreign land is not a crime. The crime is if you have not disclosed it to the government of India, if you have avoided any tax which was made out against you for holding that foreign account. And therefore, one needs to scrutinize these names which have been provided to the government of India and its agencies to see who are the people or who are the companies or entities who have avoided tax to the government of India or indulged in any illegal activity. If somebody is in perfectly right side of the law in holding that bank account, what is the point in making that person or that institution's name public? That was the argument that was being made by the government in the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court said, leave it to us, we will decide what is the way to take to decide if prosecutable evidence exists against these people or not. Which agency should decide that? If there is no prosecutable evidence, what is the kind of relief that should be given to such a person? All of that Supreme Court wants to decide on its own, and therefore it has asked the government to disclose those names. Those names have been provided to the Apex Court in a sealed envelope. And now in the next few minutes, as we talk, the hearing is still on. So in the next few minutes, perhaps we will know what future course of action the Supreme Court now recommends to the government of India.
That's right. Arunima is taking us through that breaking that we are getting, and the government disclosing 627 names. Remember, on Monday, they disclosed only 3 names, all belonging to people in the business community. No politicians were named, raising that furor, saying, is the government no better than the UPA in trying to protect its own class? Arunima, the party disclosed those names, but it does not come off looking well, because this disclosure that comes after those scathing remarks that the Supreme Court made yesterday.
Well, if I might say so, this is the first time that the Modi-led NDA government appears to be on the back foot. All this while, in the last 4-5 months, government has come to power, there has been a sense of positivity, sense of euphoria and hope about this government, that everything that the UPA did wrong will be corrected by this government. One of the things which people felt, or at least BJP supporters like Ramdev and Ram Jejmalani felt that the UPA was doing wrong, was that it was not making enough efforts to get back the black money, and they were all hopeful that this new government will undo that wrong. Once this new government in its very first cabinet meeting itself, constituted the SIT, the euphoria was even more. But yesterday and in the course of the last few days, when the first affidavit was filed by way of which this new government requested the Supreme Court to modify its 2011 order, then when that was refused, they disclosed 3 individuals and 5, total 8 names.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I believe Marjit Menon, senior lawyer, speaking. Let's listen in.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को दिया होगा आप, और हम सब देख रहे हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जिस हिसाब से पैसा खर्च किया लोकसभा के चुनाव में और अभी हरियाणा और महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव में, उनका मुकाबला कांग्रेस या पार्टी नहीं कर पाई खर्च करने में, पब्लिसिटी में। तो ये सारा काला धन, ये सारा पैसा अगर चुनाव में दिया गया, ऐसे व्यक्ति का नाम अगर इस सूची में होगा, तो जाहिर है भारतीय जनता पार्टी उनको बचाने के चक्कर में होगी। मगर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि देश के सामने और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने ये सच्चाई पूरी तरह से आ जानी चाहिए। हाफ ट्रूथ इज ऑलवेज डेंजरस, लेट अस हैव द फुल ट्रूथ। और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जल्द सारा देश जान जाएगा कि इनके पीछे कौन लोग हैं। Well, these developments for the past 2 days have one political angle and second legal angle. As far as political angle is concerned, we all during campaigning prior to the Lok Sabha elections, both the Prime Minister and his fellow BJP men were claiming that once they are put to power in center, within 100 days they will bring all the black money back, and that would be the primary cure for poverty in this country. And they were rather trying to allure people by saying that if that black money comes, every Indian citizen, 125 crore people, every Indian citizen would be entitled to 15 lakh rupees each, and we will distribute that money to the poor people. Well, where has all this promise gone? In 100 days have passed, 5 to 6 months are now ending, and as a matter of fact, in spite of the fact that the matter is pending in Supreme Court, the centre has done pretty little in this direction, or has been totally dormant on acting on getting black money. Getting black money is too far-fetched. They are not even willing to expose the names of the offenders, the names of the people who have money stashed outside. Now that yesterday Supreme Court has literally pulled up the government for seeming to be protecting with an umbrella the evaders and the people who have stocked black money outside, and Supreme Court having issued strict directions to the centre that right today they should give the names of all the people, and the Modi government has been cornered, and they have now handed over, it seems, an envelope containing the names of 600 plus people. Let us wait and watch what would happen. But if anything happens in the direction, credit would go to the Supreme Court rather than to the centre. The centre is, on the contrary, evasive. The centre is today trying to avoid this responsibility of exposing names, and therefore we hope that Supreme Court is the last hope of the country.
There you had Majid Memon there saying that the Modi government is cornered, and any credit for disclosure of these names would be given to the Supreme Court and not to the Narendra Modi government. To take us through the implications of all this, we have in our studios now Prakash Chandra, who is a former IRS as well as a former chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Your first reaction now, we know that the full list has been made disclosed at least before the Supreme Court, maybe not in the public domain. 627, that's quite a step up from just 3 on Monday.
No, that's true, but this list is already with the governments in the last 3 years, and the investigations are being carried out. You know, merely being in the list is not something illegal unless you prove that this was not disclosed, it was your illegal money was parked. There can be cases where people have legally obtained approvals and they are having international transactions, they are having businesses abroad. So they may have their own bank accounts. So all these cases, they need to be investigated thoroughly, and those who are found guilty of evasion of taxes should be brought to book and should be prosecuted.
Right. Mr. Chandra, stay with us. We're going to slip into a short break, but Shreya Dhondiyal joins us with all the very latest on that big story that we are tracking on the black money list. Stay with us.
अपनों को दीजिए शुद्ध से बढ़कर सेहतमंद पानी।